Hi guys, so I'm going to walk you through your assignment for today. I know that they always schedule my meetings during third period, so I'm so sorry, but it's going to be like I'm right here with you because I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. So you're going to go under classwork and you're going to open up Macbeth week 34 with the basketballs, analyzing motifs, Macbeth. Open this up and you will see a quick review of what you need when you write a strong analysis of evidence. These are all things that we've talked about before. So what I expect you to include, what's being compared or what is the visual effects. In this case, we're not necessarily looking for figurative language. We're looking for evidence to support the motif. So you might be explaining more of the visual. B, that's the same as always. What's the audience supposed to learn? What inferences can we make? And lastly, this would typically be where you connect it to your thesis, but we don't really know our thesis yet. We don't know what all these repeated motifs, symbols are supposed to mean yet. So we're just going to think about what they might mean. So what message is the author sending the reader through this particular motif? What I don't want you to include, don't restate the quote, no summary is needed, and do not use these personal pronouns. So I, me, you, we. We have a tendency to slip into using these. So even for our practice, we're going to practice not including these. So now you're going to scroll down. We're going to do the first one and the third one together. So you can open up this doc and you're going to type right along with me as I go through this example for you. So the first motif we're looking at is blood. We keep seeing these images of blood throughout the text, and we want to start to think about, well, why is it there? What does it mean? So I've given you the quotes, and we'll talk about this more later, but the citations are a little bit different. It's 1.2, 1-3. This is Act 1, Scene 2, lines 1 through 3. But we'll focus more on that later. So we have this quote. Who is this bloody man? Judging from his appearance, I bet he can tell us the latest news about the revolt. So I'm starting with the comparison or the visual effect. So the man is unrecognizable, and he's actually even nameless because the blood is covering him so completely. That's our visual. This man doesn't even get a name. They just literally refer to him as the bloody man because he's so covered in blood. That's a pretty powerful visual. Now, what's this audience supposed to learn? What inferences can we make just by seeing this bloody man? So the audience learns that there is clearly a violent battle taking place. We also learned that, and we're not going to say we, but I'm going to say the captain or the bloody man has been fighting successfully in that battle. Now, if I were in class, I would say, how do we know he's fighting successfully? And you would say, because he's covered in blood, but he's still alive, right? He's still standing. That means that that blood is other people's blood. That means that he is killing people on the battlefield. Now, we don't really know the author's message yet, but we can start to make inferences. So what are they trying to say about blood, about this motif of blood? So I'm going to infer that blood, or being covered in blood in battle, is a sign of bravery and respect. King Duncan and his men trust him and look to him for answers. He's not the only one on the battlefield, guys, but the king sees him covered in blood and he's like, look, this guy knows what's up. This is the guy that we can trust. So that's what we're starting to learn about blood. There's a level of respect when it's coming from battle. All right, now this one you're going to do on your own. There is this allusion, hint, hint, to the crucifixion. You could use that in your analysis or your visual. But I'm going to skip ahead to supernatural occurrences. So this is another motif that we see popping up and up and up. What is the author trying to tell us about the supernatural? So the quote's there for you again. The agents of evil often tell us part of the truth in order to lead us to our destruction. That was Banquo. Banquo was trying to warn Macbeth, like, they might be setting you off, these witches. So what's the image? So the text portrays the witches as like evil, right? So the witches are portrayed as evildoers who will mislead them simply because like they like doing it. They enjoy watching their downfall. And remember, you're taking notes along with me, so you should have these in your boxes. So I'm going to skip ahead to here. So if the witches are portrayed as evildoers who are doing things just to kind of watch Macbeth scream almost, what are we learning about supernatural occurrences? The message seems like they're bad, right? So supernatural occurrences, when acted on by the wrong person, and that's important, right? Because if Macbeth were just a totally pure and good person, he wouldn't be thinking about killing Duncan. He wouldn't even have those thoughts. But because he's got this ambition that's just driving him, this could steer him really, really wrong. So supernatural occurrences, when acted on by the wrong person, can lead to permanent consequences. And the big message is that supernatural beings should not be trusted. Now, knowing what we see here and thinking about what that means, we can make inferences about the characters. So I can infer that once Macbeth makes the decision to kill Duncan, he will never be able to repair the damage. Why? Because you can't take back murder. Murder is irreversible. And actually, I'm going to change this to if Macbeth makes the decision to kill Duncan. So if he decides to act on those thoughts that you saw within his head, that last act, it's possibly going to destroy him. He shouldn't be trusting what the witches are saying. That feels like the message so far. Okay, so you guys have my notes for the first one and the second one. You are filling in this example right here and your own example for supernatural occurrences. So you're doing one of each motif. And then I want you to try to find your own example. So look back in the text. What's another quote that you could find and analyze that connects to one of the two motifs, either blood or supernatural occurrences? And there are going to be more motifs. These are just the ones that we're seeing right away in these first couple acts. Remember, you do have homework. Your homework is to finish this, although you have time in class, and to read Acts 5 and 6 of Macbeth. I am in my meeting right now. If I get out early, I will come back and answer any questions that you have, but you can watch this again. If you have questions, you can see me walk you through the whole process. All right, get to work. I am checking to see your progress after my meeting. Bye, guys.